Hi, today we're making Dahi Vada or Thayir Vada. This is a popular snack item in India and it can be served along the main meal or it can be served as a chaat item. Lentil fritters are first fried and made crispy. Now these are a snack on its own, but in this recipe we soak them to soften them and then they are topped with the seasoned and whipped yogurt as well as other toppings. The recipe varies from region to region and from home to home. Here's how I make them. 1½ cups of skinned urad dal or black gram dal is soaked for 3 to 4 hours. The dal is then drained and added to a strong mixer blender. At first, add only 1/4 cup of the soaking liquid or fresh water. We need to blend it till smooth. You can add up to another 1/4 cup of water to assist in smooth blending, but don't add too much water. It needs to be a thick batter. Transfer the batter to a bowl. Add 1 to 2 sliced green chilies or to taste, as well as ½ teaspoon of asafoetida and 3/4 teaspoon of salt, or to your liking. Adding a pinch of baking soda is optional and makes the vadas fluffier. Also add 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds. And then stir the batter to combine all the ingredients. Set this aside briefly so that the flavors can set in. Now to fry the fritters, we can either fry them to make these donut shapes with a hole in the center, or you can just fry them as balls. This is a personal choice. I like to fry them as these vadas with the center hole. You can do this either by using your thumb to make a hole in the wet batter before adding to the oil, or as I do in this video, with a wooden chopstick directly in the oil as they're frying to make a hole in the center. If you're making just balls, you don't need to use your hands. You can use a spoon to drop in the batter. If you're making the vadas with your hands, it's better to dip your hands in a little water before scooping up the batter. Make sure the oil is not too hot or they will get golden brown before the inside is cooked through. Once they're nice and golden on both sides, you can remove them from the oil. Now, if you're making the balls, it's a good idea to make them smaller so that they fry more evenly. Making the hole in the center for the larger vadas actually helps to cook them through more evenly. Now this can be made in a single batch, like if you're using a shallow wide wok, and especially if they're in the ball form, you can just add them all into the hot oil and fry them together. But for my video demonstration purposes, I'm frying them one at a time. Once the vadas are fried, while they're still hot, you want to add them to a big bowl of water to soak them, or you can use diluted buttermilk. This removes the excess oil as well as softens the vadas up a bit. You can leave these in the water from up to 10 minutes to ½ an hour. Now we're going to whip our yogurt. Use a good, thick, naturally set yogurt. I like to use non-homogenized yogurt for this recipe, which has a thick layer of cream that settles on the top. You can either stir this cream into the yogurt or you can discard it. Now we're going to add this yogurt into a large bowl and we're going to whisk it till it's completely smooth. I like to add about 1/4 cup of milk to the yogurt to help it reduce the sour factor as well as make it a bit more loose in consistency. Once it's whisked smooth, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of roasted cumin powder, ½ teaspoon of salt or to taste, and you can also add a teaspoon of sugar. This helps to balance the acidity and improve the flavor. Now we're going to take the soaked vadas and press them gently to remove the excess water. You can see that they're softened now, and we have also removed a lot of the oil from the vadas. Now put all the vadas into the serving bowl or dish. You can also put them in individual serving cups. I'm using a single large bowl here. You can also choose to add sliced green chili and chopped coriander between the vadas. Now top them with the yogurt. And now we're going to garnish. For garnish, I like to use ginger julienne. Sometimes I like to soak the ginger in sugar syrup to sweeten them slightly. We're also going to top them with more sliced green chili and roasted cumin powder, as well as chili powder. Now use the seasonings to taste, and also keep extra for when you're serving to individual bowls. Lastly, top them with the crispy bundi or save just before serving. This adds a nice crunchy touch. Other optional toppings that you might like to try are raisins that have been soaked in hot water, or one of my favorites is to add some tutti frutti or chopped glazed cherries. This adds a nice sweet note as well as a nice texture. Now, if you don't want any of these toppings, you can serve it plain or with some sweet date and tamarind chutney or green chutney. A refreshing cool side to any meal, a chaat appetizer or snack. This is great for the month of Ramadan during the fast breaking. We hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thanks for watching.